So here we go. Yesterday, I tore a tire or the tube inside of my wheel as I was getting ready to go for my Sunday bike ride. So I managed to remove the tire and the tube by hand. I don't have any tire levers yet, but I'm getting those hopefully later this week from Steep and Cheap. So I went out and bought a new tube. This is for a Canadel Quick CX1. It's a 2011 model. So the tire itself is a Continental double fighter tube. It's like 28 by 13 eighths, or 28 by 1 and 3 eighths, or 1 and 5 eighths. Let's see what else it says. So basically, based on that information, and my brother who's in the bike industry, I went out and got a new tube. Ended up getting a 700 3538. So now I'm going to go ahead and try to mount the tire and the tube onto the wheel. So take the tube here. Go ahead, and I was sure to get the Presta valve as opposed to a Schrader valve. Schrader being a valve like a normal car tire, Presta being smaller valve in here. So now the box, this is my first time mounting a bike tire. The box says to go ahead and mount one side of the tire on the rim, inflate tube slightly, just enough to hold tube inside the tire. So I'm assuming I should have inserted the tube into the tire now, as it didn't say that. So I'll go ahead and just kind of stick it in there real quick. Now, I ended up buying 3 of these tires, just in case. If I screw up here, I've got 2 more. I also learned that I should just have, or these tubes, I should also have spare tubes in the garage, so that when I want to go ride on a Sunday evening and I tear the inside of the tube, that I can still go ride just by quickly replacing the tire. Now, being the first time I've ever done this, I don't expect it to actually go very fast. Kind of line the tube up on the inside here, try to make sure it's evenly spread out, which I'm sure I'll have an easier time doing if I put a little bit of air in it. I know you want to make sure that the tube doesn't get pinched inside of the wheel or inside of the tire here. So you can see I've kind of inserted it there. Now if I look here on the wheel, I'm going to find the insert for the valve. And we'll go ahead and see what we can do here. Now, one thing that's different about this tire versus the other one, or the tube versus the original one, it's got a little bit of a thread down here, so we can go ahead and adjust where that valve sticks out. Actually, I guess we'll quickly find out. I assume that, now that I say that, probably goes on the outside. So in the inside of the wheel. We'll go ahead and thread that on. Hopefully I got that right. I guess we'll find out. Then I'm going to go ahead and just kind of try to feed the wheel, the tube, and the tire all together. Preferring to do so without pinching that tube, as I said before. Now with these tires and this particular wheel, I didn't end up having to use a tire lever, but I've heard that tire levers are very useful on some wheels and tires. So one thing I've found here is it looks like it's trying to actually pinch the tube and the wheel and the tire together, so I need to be careful about that. And where that's actually occurring is right at the valve. in the stem, so see if I can't adjust that a little bit. So, we've got the tube mounted inside of the wheel. Go ahead and make sure I keep the cap for the valve, and we'll now work our way out into the garage and see if I can't pump up the tire. Now, I don't actually have a hand pump, I just have an air compressor, so we'll see if I don't manage to do this right without blowing anything up as we go into the garage.